Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's story. Your likes and subscriptions can give me hope to create better stories. Chapter 1: The Gentle Awakening. Close your eyes now and let your breathing slow to the rhythm of gentle ocean waves. Feel your body sinking deeper into comfort as we begin this peaceful journey together. Tonight, you are not who you were when you lay down. Tonight, you are someone else entirely, in a time long past, in a place where the northern lights dance across endless skies. The first sensation that reaches you is warmth, not the harsh heat of summer, but the deep, comforting warmth that comes from sleeping near a well-tended hearth. Your body feels different as consciousness slowly returns, like waking from the deepest. Your eyes flutter open to see rough-hewn wooden beams above you, darkened by years of smoke from the central fire pit. The wood grain tells stories of ancient forests, each line and whorl a testament to trees that grew tall and strong in the pristine wilderness of 9th century Scandinavia. Shafts of golden morning light filter through small openings in the walls, carrying with them the scent of pine needles and morning mist. You are lying on a bed of soft furs, each one carefully tanned and prepared. Beneath your fingers, you feel the luxurious texture of wolf pelts, their fur still thick and comforting despite the years of use. These are not mere blankets, but treasures, each one representing a successful hunt, a story of survival and skill passed down through generations. The largest fur, you somehow know without being told, came from a great brown bear that as you sit up slowly, taking time to adjust to this new body, you notice how different everything feels. Your hands are larger, marked with small scars that speak of a lifetime working with blade and fire. Your shoulders are broader, carrying the weight of mail when needed, the strength to pull a longbow with a draw weight that would challenge even the strongest modern archer. Yet despite this power, there is no tension in your muscles now, only the relaxed readiness of someone completely at peace in their own skin. The longhouse around you breathes with quiet morning activity. Somewhere in the shadows, you can hear the soft whisper of someone tending the fire, carefully adding dry kindling to coax the flames back to life after their nighttime slumber. The sound is rhythmic and soothing, like a lullaby made of crackling wood and settling embers. You know, without looking, that it is your mother, Astrid, whose hands have tended this fire for more winters than you can count, whose gentle care has kept your family warm through the harshest storms the North Sea could deliver. The air in the longhouse is rich with familiar scents that your Viking senses recognize instantly. There is the earthy aroma of peat smoke, the sweetness of honey mead aging in wooden barrels, and the comforting smell of bread baking on flat stones near the fire. Herbs hang in bundles from the rafters, their dried leaves releasing subtle fragrances that will flavor tonight's stew and soothe tomorrow's ailments. Juniper berries, wild thyme, and meadowsweet create a natural pharmacy suspended above your head, each plant gathered during the brief but intense Nordic summer when the sun barely set and the land exploded with life. Your feet touch the packed earth floor, and you feel the coolness of it through the thin leather of your sleeping shoes. The floor has been swept clean and covered with fresh rushes that release a green meadow scent when disturbed. This is the work of your younger sister, Sigrid, who takes pride in maintaining the household's cleanliness and order. In a world where winter can last 6 months or more, the longhouse becomes an entire universe. And every detail of its maintenance is an act of love and survival. As you stand, your body moves with the fluid grace of someone who is trained in combat since childhood. But there is no aggression in these movements, only the natural poise of a predator completely at rest. Your muscles stretch and lengthen like a great cat warming itself in morning sunlight. The berserker rage that legends speak of is nowhere to be found in this peaceful moment. Instead, you are simply Bjorn, son of Eric the Steady-Handed, brother to Sigrid the Wise, and keeper of your family's honor in the village of Fjordheim. The weight of your morning ritual begins to call to you, as familiar as breathing. First, you will wash your face and hands in the wooden basin that Sigrid filled with fresh well water before dawn. The water will be shockingly cold, drawn from a spring that has never known the touch of sun, but it will awaken your senses and prepare you for the day ahead. Vikings, contrary to popular belief, prized cleanliness highly. Your people bathe more frequently than most others in this medieval world, understanding that cleanliness is not merely comfort, but survival in close quarters during the long winters. After washing, you will run your fingers through your long hair, working out the tangles of sleep. Your hair is the color of autumn wheat, braided with small silver rings that mark your status as a successful raider and trader. Each ring represents a voyage completed, a challenge overcome, a moment when you proved worthy of the trust your clan placed in you. The rings catch the morning light as you move, creating tiny prisms that dance across the wooden walls like captured sunlight. Your clothing waits nearby, neatly folded by caring hands. The wool tunic is dyed a deep blue, the color of the ocean on a calm day, made from sheep that graze the high meadows above your village. The fabric is soft from many washings, comfortable against your skin, and warm enough for the cool mornings that are common even in summer this far north. Over this, you will wear a leather jerkin, tooled with intricate knotwork patterns that tell the story of your lineage. These patterns are not mere decoration, but a form of writing, a way of carrying your family's history wherever you go. Your belt holds several important items, each one both practical and symbolic. There is a small eating knife with a handle carved from elk antler, its blade kept sharp enough to slice through tough meat or delicate herbs with equal ease. A leather pouch contains coins from distant lands, Arabic silver and Byzantine gold that speak of trading voyages to places where spices grow on trees and silk flows like water. Another pouch holds your personal rune stones, each one carved by your own hand during the long winter nights when the darkness seemed eternal and the only light. But there is no urgency in any of these preparations. Time moves differently in this place, at this moment. The sun has only recently painted the eastern sky with gentle colors. And there are no raids to prepare for, no battles to fight. Today is simply a day for living, for enjoying the simple pleasures that make existence worthwhile. Today, you will walk among your people as a protector at peace, a warrior whose greatest victory is the tranquility he helps maintain. All as well as you know your human neighbors. In a subsistence farming community, every animal is both a companion and a crucial resource, treated with the respect due to something upon which your very survival depends. The cattle are followed by the softer bleating of sheep, their voices like a distant chorus singing the day awake. Your people have bred these animals for centuries, selecting for wool quality, milk production, and the ability to find food even when snow covers the ground. Their fleece will be sheared soon, and the long process of turning that wool into cloth will begin. It is work that involves the entire community, from the youngest child who can hold a spindle to the eldest grandmother whose fingers still remember the perfect tension for the finest bread. Your stomach begins to rumble gently, reminding you that the body needs fuel to function, even in this peaceful morning. The smell of porridge cooking drifts from the central hearth, a mixture of barley and oats, sweetened with the last of the winter's honey and enriched with cream from your best milking cow. This is sustenance and comfort combined. Food that will provide steady energy for whatever tasks the day might bring. Your people understand that good food is not luxury but necessity, that a well-fed warrior is an effective warrior, and that sharing meals builds the bonds that hold communities together through hardship and celebration alike. As you move toward the hearth area, your bare feet silent on the rush-covered floor, you notice how the light has changed. The golden rays of early morning are giving way to the clearer, whiter light of full day. Soon, the entire village will be awake and moving. But for now, you exist in this peaceful bubble of quiet activity and gentle preparation. It is a time for reflection, for appreciation, for allowing the mind to settle into the rhythm of another day in a life that, despite its challenges, is fundamentally good. You think about the dream that brought you here, the strange journey from your modern existence into this ancient body. Perhaps it was the gods who sent you this vision. Odin, the All-Father, who trades his raven's wisdom for mortal understanding. Or Freya, whose domain includes not just love and beauty, but the warrior's peaceful rest after battle. In Norse belief, the boundary between dreams and reality is thin, and prophetic visions are gifts to be treasured rather than questioned. If you have been given the chance to experience life, the fire crackles softly as new wood is added, and the sound is like a conversation between old friends. Flames dance upward toward the smoke hole in the roof, carrying with them the prayers and hopes of everyone in the household. In Viking culture, the hearth fire is sacred, a connection between the human world and the realm of the gods. It must never be allowed to die completely, for to do so would invite disaster upon the entire family. The responsibility for maintaining this fire rotates among the household members, but it is always tended with reverence and care. near the fire. Generations, a thread of continuity that connects your family to its earliest ancestors. The words speak of summer meadows and gentle rainfall, of children safe in their beds, and warriors returning home from distant journeys. The sound of her humming mingles with the whisper of wind through the longhouse walls, creating a natural symphony that seems designed specifically to promote deep relaxation and inner peace. This is not the harsh, violent world that modern imagination often creates around the Vikings, but rather a community of people who understand that survival depends on cooperation, that strength is meaningless without wisdom, and that the fiercest warrior is useless without the support of a loving family. Your sister Sigrid appears from the shadows like a gentle spirit, her arms full of fresh rushes to replace those that have become compressed underfoot. She moves with the quiet efficiency of youth, her blonde hair braided with colored threads that mark her as unmarried but of marriageable age. In a few years, she will choose a husband from among the young men of neighboring villages, but for now, she is content to perfect her skills as a keeper of the household. Learning the 1,000 small tasks that will make her a valuable partner in the cooperative venture of Viking family life. She nods to you with a smile that is both familial affection and respect for your status as a proven warrior. In your absence during trading voyages or raids, she has helped maintain the family's honor and property, proving that Viking women are far from the helpless victims that later ages would imagine them to be. Your sister can handle a sword if necessary, manage complex trade negotiations, and lead a household through crisis with the same calm competence she shows in spreading fresh rushes across the floor. The porridge is ready now, its aroma rich and comforting in the morning air. Your mother ladles it into wooden bowls that have been carved from a single piece of birch, each one unique in its grain and coloring. These bowls have served your family for generations. Their surfaces polished smooth by countless meals, their wooden warmth pleasant against your palms. You settle onto a bench beside the hearth, the familiar weight of your body finding its accustomed place as naturally as a bird settling onto its nest. The bench is carved from oak, its surface worn smooth by years of use, its strength a testament to the skills of your grandfather, who shaped it with hand tools and infinite patience. Around you, your family gathers for the morning meal, each person taking their traditional place in the circle that forms around the central fire. This is the first meal of the day, but it is also a ritual that reinforces the bonds between you. Food is shared according to ancient customs that ensure everyone receives according to their needs and contributions. As the household's primary protector, you receive the largest portion, but you also bear the greatest responsibility for the family's welfare. The taste of the porridge is simple but deeply satisfying, grain and sweetness combining to provide the steady energy your body needs for the day ahead. Each spoonful connects you to the land that produced the grain, the bees that made the honey, the cow that gave the milk. In a world without industrial agriculture, every meal is a direct connection to the natural world. a reminder of humanity's place in the web of life that surrounds and sustains all existence. As you eat, your mind begins to plan the day ahead, but there is no urgency in these thoughts, no stress or anxiety about tasks undone or challenges unmet. Today will unfold at its own pace, according to its own rhythm, guided by the needs of the season and the wisdom of experience. Perhaps you will work with your father in the smithy, helping to forge tools or weapons with the patient skill that turns raw iron into objects of beauty and utility. Perhaps you will walk the boundaries of your family's land, checking on the sheep and cattle, noting which fields will be ready for harvest in the coming weeks. Or perhaps today will be a day for storytelling, for gathering with the other young warriors of the village to share tales of distant lands and great adventures. These stories serve many purposes beyond mere entertainment. They preserve the history of your people, teach moral lessons about courage and honor, and maintain the cultural knowledge that defines what it means to be Viking. In an oral culture, the storyteller holds the same important position that libraries and schools hold in later times. The morning light continues to grow brighter, painting the interior of the longhouse with warm, golden tones that make every surface seem to glow from within. Dust motes dance in the sunbeams like tiny spirits celebrating the arrival of another day. Outside, you can hear the village coming to life as families emerge from their homes to begin the day's work. Children's voices mix with adult conversation, creating a tapestry of human sound that speaks of community and continuity. Soon, you will finish your meal and step outside to greet the day properly. But for now, you are content to sit in this warm circle of family, surrounded by the sights and sounds and smells that define home in the deepest sense of the word. The Berserker's fury that legends attribute to warriors like yourself is nowhere to be found in this moment. Instead, there is only peace, contentment, and the deep satisfaction that comes from knowing your place in the world and being comfortable with that knowledge. Let your breathing slow even more now as we prepare to leave this peaceful morning scene. Feel the warmth of the porridge in your Viking belly, the comfort of the furs against your skin, the solid weight of your strong body settling into complete relaxation. The morning has been perfect, unhurried and gentle, full of the simple pleasures that make life worthwhile. As we move toward the next part of our journey, carry this feeling of contentment with you, this sense of belonging and peace that comes from being exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. Chapter 2: The Peaceful Village. The cool morning air greets you like an old friend as you step outside the longhouse, carrying with it the clean scents of pine forest and ocean salt. Your bare feet touch the wooden steps that your father carved from a single massive log, each step worn smooth by generations of family members who have passed this way on countless mornings just like this one. The wood is cool but not cold, warmed by the first rays of sunlight that have found their way between the towering spruce trees that ring your village like protective sentinels. Fjordheim spreads before you in the growing light, a collection of perhaps 20 longhouses nestled in a natural harbor where a clear stream meets the sea. The village has grown organically over generations, each family building where the land was suitable, creating winding paths between homes. Harmony with nature. Buildings that seem to grow from the earth itself rather than being imposed upon it by human will. The other longhouses are beginning to show signs of morning activity. Thin columns of smoke rise from smoke holes in their sod-covered roofs, carrying with them the comfortable aromas of cooking food and warming families. These buildings are marvels of engineering, adapted to the harsh northern climate. Their thick walls and steep-pitched roofs designed to shed snow and conserve heat during the long winters. The sod that covers each roof is not mere insulation, but a living system, sprouting grass and wildflowers during the brief summer, creating gardens in the sky that help regulate temperature and provide a last refuge for grazing animals during the harshest weather. Your family's longhouse is among the larger ones in the village, a testament to your father's success as a craftsman and trader. The building stretches nearly 60 feet in length. Its walls, built from massive logs, fitted together with such precision that no chinking is needed to keep out the wind. At each end, elaborate wood carvings tell the story of your lineage, mythical beasts and heroic figures intertwining in patterns that are both beautiful and meaningful. These carvings were done by your great-grandfather, a master craftsman whose artistic legacy lives on in the dragons and serpents that seem to writhe and dance across the weathered wood. The village path beneath your feet is made of flat stones fitted together with the same care that went into building the houses. Between the stones, soft moss grows in the joints, seeks its way to the sea. But the stones channel the water safely around the buildings, preventing the flooding and erosion that could destroy months of hard work in a single storm season. Other villagers are emerging from their homes now, each person beginning their day according to rhythms that have been established over generations of successful survival in this challenging environment. There is Gunnar the smith, already heading toward his workshop where the forge fire has been banked all night, ready to be coaxed back to life for another day of shaping iron into useful forms. His massive frame moves with surprising grace, like a bear that has learned to walk among humans, and his hands, scarred by countless hours working with hot metal, are as gentle as a mother's. When he helped near the harbor, you can see old Magnus preparing his fishing boat for another day on the water. Magnus has been fishing these waters for more than 40 years, and he knows every rock and current, every seasonal pattern that determines where the fish will be found. His boat is a masterpiece of practical design, clinker-built with overlapping strakes that flex with the waves rather than fighting them, sealed with pine tar and sheep's wool until it is as watertight as a living creature's skin. The mast and rigging wait nearby, ready to catch whatever wind the gods might provide for the day's work. Children begin to appear from various households, their voices clear and bright in the morning air as they call to friends and organize the day's adventures. These are not the carefully supervised and scheduled children of modern times, but young people who are given significant freedom to explore their world and learn through direct experience, People spend their day ranging through the forests and meadows around the village, learning to identify useful plants, track animals, and navigate by natural landmarks. This is education in its purest form, knowledge gained through engagement with the living world, rather than absorption of abstract information. The youngest children stay closer to home, playing elaborate games that prepare them for adult responsibilities while keeping them entertained and out of trouble. Little Astrid, your cousin's daughter, carries a wooden sword that is an exact replica of a real weapon, scaled down to fit her small hands, but otherwise identical in every detail. She practices the basic forms that will one day make her a formidable shield maiden. But for now, her greatest opponent is her own shadow, which she attacks with fierce concentration and delighted giggles. Near the center of the village stands the Great Hall, a building that dwarfs even the largest family longhouses and serves as the community's gathering place for important occasions. Its roof soars 40 feet into the air, supported by massive timber posts that were once the trunks of ancient trees. The hall is where the community holds its assemblies, where disputes are settled according to traditional law, and where the great seasonal festivals bring everyone together in celebration and mutual support. Today, however, it stands quiet and peaceful, its heavy doors closed against the morning air, waiting for whatever gatherings the day might bring. Your feet carry you naturally toward the harbor, where the sight and sound of water have drawn humans since the beginning of time. The sea today is calm, its surface reflecting the morning sky like a mirror made of liquid silver. Sleeping persons breathing. This is the North Sea in one of its gentler moods, giving no hint of the storms that can turn it into a raging monster capable of destroying anything that dares to challenge its power. Several boats are already bobbing at their moorings, each one a testimony to the seafaring skills that make your people famous throughout the known world. These are not the massive longships that carry warriors on raids and exploration voyages, but smaller, more practical vessels designed for the daily work of fishing and coastal trading. Each boat represents years of skilled labor, from the selection of the right trees to the final fitting of the bronze fittings that secure the rigging. In a culture that depends on the sea for both sustenance and transportation, boat building is one of the most honored crafts. The harbor itself is a natural formation, a deep inlet protected from the worst of the ocean's fury by a curving arm of granite that extends into deeper water. This natural breakwater has been enhanced over the generations by careful placement of large stones, creating a safe haven where boats can ride out storms that would destroy them in open water. The work of building and maintaining this harbor has been a community effort spanning decades, each family contributing labor and materials according to their abilities and resources. As you stand at the water's edge, breathing the clean, salt air deep into your lungs, you become aware of the complex ecosystem that surrounds and supports your village. Seabirds wheel overhead, their cries mixing with the sound of waves to create a natural symphony that has played here since long before humans arrived. Guillemots and puffins nest on the indicating the health of the fish populations that form the base of the marine food web. Where seabirds thrive, fishermen know they will find the schools of herring and cod that provide protein for human tables. In the shallow water near the shore, you can see kelp forests swaying in the gentle current, their brown fronds creating an underwater garden that serves as nursery and hunting ground for countless species of fish and shellfish. Your people have learned to harvest these kelp beds sustainably, taking only what they need for fertilizer and food, while leaving enough to ensure the continued health of the entire system. This is conservation in its most practical form, based not on abstract. The stream that flows through the village brings fresh water from the mountains, its crystal clear flow providing not only drinking water but power for the grist mill that grinds grain into flour. The mill wheel turns slowly in the morning light, its wooden paddles scooping up water and using its weight to drive the massive stones that crush grain into meal. The sound of the wheel is another layer in the village's morning symphony, a steady, rhythmic creaking that speaks of human ingenuity working in partnership with natural forces. Along the stream's banks, carefully tended gardens show the first signs of summer growth, represent a different kind of wealth than gold or silver. The wealth of self-sufficiency and food security that allows a community to survive whatever challenges the world might present. Your mother's herb garden is among the most extensive in the village, a collection of medicinal and culinary plants that she has gathered from throughout the known world during your family's trading voyages. Here grow chamomile for soothing upset stomachs, willow bark for treating pain and fever, and dozens of other plants whose healing properties have been tested and proven over generations of use. In an era without modern medicine, the herb garden serves as the village pharmacy, and your mother's knowledge of how to prepare and use these plants makes her one of the community's most valuable members. You notice Ericsson the Wise approaching from his longhouse, moving with the careful dignity of age and authority. As one of the village elders, Ericsson serves as keeper of the law and tradition, the person to whom others turn when disputes need settling or important decisions must be made. His long gray beard is braided with silver rings that mark his status, and his eyes hold the deep wisdom that comes from having lived through many seasons of joy and sorrow. When he speaks, others listen, not because they must, but because experience has taught them that his words are worth hearing. "Good morning, young Bjorn," he says, his voice carrying easily across the distance between you. The sea looks calm today. Perhaps it calls to you for a journey to the outer islands. His suggestion carries no pressure, only the gentle guidance. The outer islands he refers to are a day's sailing away, rocky outcrops where seals haul out during pupping season and rare birds nest in the cliff faces. It would be a journey of exploration and learning rather than conquest, exactly the kind of peaceful adventure that builds character and skill. but something in the tranquil morning scene makes you reluctant to leave, even for a day. There is a completeness to this moment, a sense that everything you need can be found right here in this village, among these people who have known you since birth and will celebrate your achievements and mourn your losses with equal sincerity. The Berserker's traditional restlessness seems to have no place in this peaceful setting, replaced by a deeper contentment that comes from being exactly where you belong. "Perhaps another day, wise one," you reply, your voice carrying the respect due to age and experience. "Today, I think I would rather stay close to home and enjoy the gifts the gods have given us right here." Erickson nods approvingly, understanding that wisdom sometimes lies in knowing when not to seek adventure, when the greatest treasure is the ability to appreciate what you already possess. A group of women approaches from the direction of the great hall, their arms laden with baskets of wool that they will spend the day processing into thread and yarn. This is seasonal work, timed to coincide with the recent sheep shearing, and it will occupy much of the community's female labor for the next several weeks. The women chat quietly among themselves as they walk, their conversation covering everything from the quality of this year's fleece to plans for their daughters' upcoming marriages. This is how community bonds are maintained and strengthened, through the sharing of daily tasks and concerns. Among them is Ingrid, daughter of the village's most successful trader, whose beauty is matched by her skill at the loom and her knowledge of the complex patterns that turn simple wool into magnificent tapestries. She catches your eye as the group passes, offering a smile that is both friendly and slightly mysterious, the kind of expression that suggests possibilities without making promises. In Viking society, young people choose their own partners based on compatibility and attraction, though families certainly offer advice and guidance. Ingrid represents the kind of future that any young warrior might hope for, a partnership based on mutual respect and shared values. The sun has climbed higher now, warming the air and bringing out the scents of pine resin and wildflowers that perfume the village's morning atmosphere. Somewhere in the forest, a woodpecker drums against a hollow tree, the sound echoing through the woods like a natural drumbeat. This is the sound of life in abundance, of an ecosystem healthy enough to support not just the basic needs of survival, but the luxury of creatures that exist purely for the joy of existing. Your father appears from the direction of his workshop, wiping his hands on a leather apron that shows the stains of his craft. Eric the Steady-Handed is known throughout the region for his skill at metalworking, able to forge fitted with an ornate hilt and presented to a young warrior from a neighboring village as part of a formal alliance between communities. "Come, son," he says, gesturing toward the workshop. "I have something to show you, a technique I learned from the smiths of the Eastern lands during my trading voyage last summer." The invitation is both professional and personal, an opportunity to learn valuable skills while spending time with the man whose guidance has shaped your character since childhood. In Viking society, the relationship between father and son is one of the most important bonds, combining love with practical education in the skills needed for adult success. But even as you prepare to follow your father to his workshop, you take a moment to absorb the complete peace of this village morning. Every person you can see is engaged in meaningful work, contributing to the community's welfare while pursuing their own goals and interests. There is no sense of urgency or stress, no feeling that time is running out or that important opportunities are being missed. Instead, there is the deep satisfaction that comes from living in harmony with natural rhythms, from being part of a community that values both individual achievement and collective well-being. The children continue their play, their laughter adding bright notes to the morning's gentle soundtrack. The adults move about their tasks with the easy competence that comes from years of practice, each person secure in their role and confident in their abilities. Even the animals seem infected with the general sense of contentment. The cattle grazing peacefully in their meadow, the chickens scratching happily in the dirt around their coop, the village cats stretching lazily in patches of warm sunlight. This is not the harsh, violent world that popular imagination often associates with Viking culture, but rather a sophisticated society that has learned to balance the needs of individual ambition with the requirements of community survival. The Berserker tradition, with its emphasis on fearless courage in battle, exists side by side with equally important traditions of craftsmanship, trade, and peaceful cooperation. A truly successful Viking is one who can excel in all these areas, who can be as fierce in protecting his family as he is gentle in raising his children. As you prepare to spend time learning from your father, let your mind settle even deeper into this peaceful scene. Feel the warm sun on your face. Breathe the clean morning air deep into your lungs, and allow yourself to be completely present in this moment of perfect tranquility. The village continues its gentle morning rhythm around you, each person contributing their part to the larger symphony of community life. There is no urgency here, no pressure to be anywhere other than exactly where you are. Let this feeling of belonging and contentment wash over you like a warm wave, carrying away any tension or worry you might have been holding. In this place, at this time, you are exactly who you were meant to be, living exactly the life that brings you the deepest satisfaction and joy. Chapter 3. The Gentle Strength. Your father's workshop stands at the edge of the village, positioned to catch the morning light and to keep the noise and smoke of metalworking from disturbing the sleeping areas. The building itself is a testament to practical design, with thick stone walls that retain heat and massive wooden beams that support a roof strong enough to bear the weight of heavy equipment. The forge dominates the central area, its stone hearth blackened by years of use, surrounded by carefully organized tools that represent generations of accumulated wisdom about the art. Mere industrial odors, but the perfumes of skilled craftsmanship, each one carrying memories of projects completed and techniques mastered through patient practice and careful observation. Your father moves through his workshop with the fluid grace of someone completely at home in their environment. Every tool has its designated place, every material its proper storage location, and Eric knows the position of each item with the precision of a master artist who understands that efficiency and beauty often spring from the same source. His hands, scarred by years of working with fire and metal, handle the heaviest hammer and the most delicate finishing tool with equal confidence and control. "See here, Bjorn," he says, gesturing toward the forge where a piece of steel glows with the deep orange light of properly heated metal. "The smiths of Miklagard showed me how to fold the steel in a pattern that creates both flexibility and strength. Watch how the metal seems to flow like liquid, yet holds its essential character." His voice carries the quiet enthusiasm of someone sharing knowledge that he considers truly valuable. "Thousands of miles to reach your father's forge, carried by merchants who understand that the right materials are worth almost any price when they enable the creation of truly superior weapons and tools. You watch as your father manipulates the glowing metal with tools that seem like extensions of his own body. The hammer falls with a rhythm as steady as a heartbeat, each blow precisely placed to move the steel exactly where it